Okay. Welcome to this session today. This is a very important topic, which is crafting. Okay, I can see that my voice is echoing. Okay, so if you're on this live session, can you please drop a chat if you can hear me properly? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, because it seems like my voice is echoing. Uh, Let me see. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, so I'll continue then. Um, okay, so I'm just going to expand my screen again. Okay, so welcome to this session, a very important topic today. I'll be talking about crafting a battle for cybersecurity job roles. Um, a lot of things to talk about today. I'll start by talking about why strong CV matters in cybersecurity, common pitfalls of cybersecurity CVs, understanding the cybersecurity job market, and overview of popular cybersecurity roles. I'll also be sharing a sample CV in today's session just for people to know what a good CV looks like and how to tailor their CV properly using the sample CV. I will also talk about key sections of a cybersecurity CV, how to craft a powerful professional summary, highlighting your cybersecurity skills, writing impactful experience descriptions, and showcasing certifications and education. So I'm just going to start quickly. Why is there a need for a strong CV in cybersecurity? First thing to note is that when recruiters or hiring managers get a CV, they only spend few seconds to scan the CV. I need to check what's wrong with the voice of this thing. Okay. Everybody says they can hear me. It just feels like my voice is echoing. Let me, okay, let me go again and see. Okay, still echoing. Okay, I'll just go on like that and we'll see. Okay, so importance of a well-crafted CV. Recruiters spend time to scan the CV. So what does that mean? It means that from first impression, your CV has to come up good for recruiters or hiring managers. They need to see your CV and want to call you for an interview. They need to see your CV and see good cybersecurity skills in your CV. Your CV should be tailored to demonstrate the expertise that you have. And it should also show that you have good attention to details. So what that means is that your CV should be well formatted. It should be good enough for a cybersecurity opportunity. Also tailoring your CV to relevance. Sometimes when I review people's CV, I can almost tell if they'll get interviews or not. And what I mean is that I see a CV, I look at the job description, I don't see any relevance. There's something that is being pointed out in the job description, and I cannot point it out. So it doesn't show a sign of good CV. And I'm going to be talking about all of this today. So I'll start by talking about common pitfalls in cybersecurity CVs. Avoid unnecessary technical terms or acronyms. If you don't understand something, don't just put it in your CV for the sake of putting it. Always ensure that your CV is well tailored. Don't use one size fits all CVs. I always tell people you can't have only one CV. Your CV must be tailored. What job are you applying for? and how are you tailoring your CV to meet that? It may look like a lot of work, but it's very important. You need to tailor your CV properly to fit into the job that you are interested in. In your CV, you need to focus on your achievement, not just responsibilities. Some people just state their key responsibilities. What about your achievements? What are the key pointers that you want for hiring managers to see in your CV? And lastly, poor formatting in your CV distract recruiters. You use different font type, different type of headings. It's not straight, it's not properly structured. It just shows that you don't pay attention to details. And then how do you want to do a cybersecurity job without paying proper attention to details? So, moving on from that, understanding the cybersecurity job market. One key thing to notice that the cybersecurity job market is now very interesting. There's a growing demand. There's a real demand for cybersecurity professionals. If you're just starting your cybersecurity career, you're not late. You are right in time. Every day we see cybersecurity job postings. People tell me that, oh, in my country, I don't see cybersecurity. My response to them is, it doesn't really matter the country, whether Nigeria, Canada, United States, or Ghana, Kenya, but there's a demand for cybersecurity professionals. Why is it so? It is so because cyber attackers are everywhere. They don't really care about the country. They want to attack them. So it means that cybersecurity professionals are in good demand. Having said that, in cybersecurity field, some skills are now becoming specialized. For example, you find that security is now thriving, security operations center analysts are now thriving compliance. So it means that there's a place in cybersecurity. And then artificial intelligence is now becoming a big thing in cybersecurity. So it means that we have a place in cybersecurity. So for people who are using artificial intelligence currently, who are using it, you need to understand that there's also a place for you in the cybersecurity field. So I'm just going to touch on a quick overview of popular cybersecurity roles. Um, SOC analyst. What is SOC? Security Operations Center analyst. These are people who deal with investigation, who deal with alerts, who try to check for incidents and ensure that incidents are properly addressed and responded to. Security Operations Center analysts are in huge demand when it comes to cybersecurity. So if you are currently tilted towards that path, it means that your CV should look a CV analyst. When someone looks at your CV, they know that you're ready for a stock analyst job. Going to stand you out by sharpening your skills, by getting the relevant qualifications, relevant certifications, putting your experience together in your CV, which is very important. Penetration tester, very popular cybersecurity role. Very interesting. I mean, people would say only penetration testers and compliance are the people in cybersecurity. But there's, there's a good demand for people who have skill sets. So if you are tilted towards this direction, your CV should reflect that. What are the courses that you've done? What certification have you taken? How have you built your skills? Is it through internship? Other kind of opportunities? You need to be able to show this and reflect your CV. Incident responder, people who respond to incidents, understanding a security incident, putting together plans, incident response plans, ensuring that incidents are properly responded to, and of course, governance risk analyst. Governance risk and compliance analyst roles are really common in security today. So this is your career path, you are in the right path because there is an opportunity for you in this field. So let's go to where we are here today. Key sections of the cybersecurity CV. What should your CV contain? When someone picks your CV, can they say that your CV is good enough or not? First set of things that should be in your CV, your full name. Your CV should have your full name. It should have your location. And when I say location, I'm not saying your house address. Some people make a mistake and put their house address on their CV. Please do not do that. Your location is fine. For example, you're in the United States or you're in United Kingdom. You also be more specific, London or Lagos or Nigeria, whatever it cities or Canada, Ontario, Toronto, you want to be more specific order, but your location must be on your CV. Please put your professional email on your CV, or if it's your personal email, Gmail. A lot of people use Gmail. So, for example, Iretoluwa at gmail.com, have that email in your CV. Your phone number should be on your CV, and of course, your LinkedIn profile. Moving on from that, you must have an overview of your profile on your CV. It's a must. It should be a summary about it. First thing that the hiring manager would see and be able to say, okay, this is a summary about this person. And when you go for an interview, you can also touch more on this profile. I'll share what that looks like as part of this session today. Highlight your skills relevant to cybersecurity. What technical skills have you gained? What soft skills do you have relevant to cybersecurity? It has to be in your CV. It is very important. What are the tools that you know how to use? It has to be becomes part of your skills. Document your experience and achievements. Some people have told me in the past that they don't have any experience. And then I ask them, how about the internship that you joined? Or some of the boot camps that you've done some practical things? Why is it not in your CV? It has to reflect in your CV. It is very important. You want a cybersecurity role, the demand is high, but now they are looking for quality. So when they pick that CV, they want to see a CV of someone who has a bit of experience, someone who has something to show, except you are applying for a graduate, and then list of certification and your relevant degrees. Even if the degree is not relevant, some people have done BSc in psychology, BSc in accounting, BSc in economics. Don't remove it from your CV. Reflect it in your CV. It is very important. Have your degree in your CV. Have your certifications in your CV. Okay, I'm just going to pause quickly and see if there's any question in the chat. If you have any question, okay, my sound is breaking. Let me see. So I'm just going to stop. Uh, is it better now? Let's see. Okay. Is my sound better now? Okay, some people say yes, it is. Okay, someone is saying yes, it is. Can you still see my screen? Uh, sound is better now. Okay, okay, you can see my screen. Can you see my screen now? Is it showing the slide? Let me see. Yes, I can see. Okay, screen is up. Okay, okay, fine. Okay. Okay, so if you have any question as I'm going along, please put in the chat and I'll attend to the questions from time to time. Okay, so crafting a professional summary. How do you craft a professional summary? Summarize your expertise and goals. When you're talking, when you're telling someone about yourself, you want to highlight the key things about you. For example, if I want to craft my professional summary now, I'll talk about some of the things that I have spent in, like risk management, vulnerability management. If there are some tools or certification or standards, for example, I'm familiar with, I'll add it in my ISO 27001 as an example. NIST cybersecurity framework, I'll add it in my summary. So make sure that your summary reflects you. And that's what you should also hold on to when you go for an interview. Align your summary with the job description. your summary should not be it should not be different from the job description. It should be well tailored to that job description. Highlight your certifications and key skills. For example, you have a certification in ISO 27001 lead add it to your summary to say you are certified in this, or you are certified in certified information security manager. You are a certified information security manager, something like that. Add it to your summary. Add a bit of your key skills to your summary, maybe technical skills, risk management, vulnerability management, security assessment, and so on. Okay. Highlighting your skills. Showcase your skills. Match the role. Divide your skills into categories. What are the key skills? I'm going to show you sample CV that showcase this kind of skills. Technical skills, soft skills. Cybersecurity also relies and depends on your soft skills. Very important that you showcase this. Prioritize the relevance. When you are highlighting, make sure the ones that is tailored job description is showing the hiring manager or the recruiter. Quantify where possible when highlighting your cybersecurity skills, especially when you are showing your skills in your job description. Make sure you quantify for what this looks like. Okay, this is what your cybersecurity skills should look like when you're highlighting. Technical skills, for example, vulnerability assessment. You have good skills with vulnerability assessment. Highlight it in your CV. Your soft skills, for example, communication, attention to detail, collaboration. Include it in your CV. What are the projects that you've worked on, or how have you contributed to cybersecurity industry? What have you showcase it? And of course, if there are hands-on experience that you've also gained, you should be able to showcase this by your work experience, or by internship, or by labs. Depending, showcase this properly on your CV. Showcase this properly. Okay. So I'll check again if there's questions in the chat, and then I'll okay. Is there any question? There's no question in the chat, so let's go on. Uh, okay. I hope you can still see my screen. Okay. So we go to certifications and education. Validating your expertise. Highlight your relevant certifications in your CV. There are some instances where you've not done the certification, but you're planning to do it, and people have asked me, how do you show this kind of certification? For example, Frontier Security Plus, you've not done it, but you have a plan to take this certification. You can have it in your CV, but please state that it is in view. And I've seen cases where this has been used, and these people have also been called for it. But make sure you are planning to write the exam. Don't put it there for putting sake, because you want to tell a lie. I always say that when crafting your CV, do not lie in your CV. If you've not done a certification, to say you've done this certification, because when they try to validate, they then find that you've not done this certification. Include academic projects and research work in your CV. Project that is relating to cybersecurity and that can help you land and this some of you have done some projects. You are not certain what kind of projects they are. Some labs, let's different platforms, some stock analyst programs. Reflect these things for yourself, especially if you have work experience. Provide key details of what you've done. You supported to write a research related to cybersecurity. Please your CV. You know some things related to cybersecurity, not necessarily a certification, be a training, not necessarily but something that puts you that can give you an advantage. Please put it in your CV and reflect it properly in your CV. And reflect it properly. Okay. So first step to tailoring your CV, understand the requirements of the role. This is very important. understand the role requirement. What does the role entail? I always tell people you need to read the JD. That job description is not for fashion. You must read it and understand. If you can do 60% of what is detailed in that description, please apply for the job. Apply for that job if you can do 60% of what is in the job description. Highlight the keywords. So the keywords, the job description, for example, they say they're looking for someone who understands or who has used Wireshark, Splunk, Microsoft Sentinel. Those keywords must not be missing in your CV. The moment they are missing, you don't stand a chance. I always tell people, your CV must be properly tailored to the job description. Properly tailored, that's the word. If you're applying for a job from tomorrow and your CV is not tailored to the job description, you won't stand a chance. You won't stand a chance to be called for an interview. You must tailor your CV properly. Tailor, that's the key word. And I'm emphasizing this because I've seen cases where I advise people go back and tailor your CV. Do that and get called for an interview. Do that. Bear in mind, I'm not telling you to lie. I'm not telling you to package. I'm telling you that what you need to tailor your CV, you need to give skills. If you need to upskill so that you can tailor your CV properly, then please upskill so that you have the right skills. But tailoring is your first step to getting an interview. What's the practical steps to revamp your CV? Start with the JD. The JD. Read the JD. You must read the job description and understand it. Your professional summary must be solid. If I want to tell people about my professional summary now, I'll talk about my key highlights. What are the key things I'm good at? Implementation of best practice standards and frameworks. I have implemented best practice standards and frameworks for over 60 organizations. It will reflect in my professional summary. So that when the recruiter or hiring manager is looking at my professional summary, they know that this is a solid. So what is that thing that can stand out? It has to be your professional summary. Customize your work experience. Again, you have to read the JD to be able to customize your work experience. Again, I'm not telling you to lie. I'm telling you that if you need to bridge that gap, go and bridge that. But your CV is the key to you landing a job in cybersecurity. That's the first step that will help you get a job in cybersecurity. And then prioritize relevant skills and certifications. The job is looking, they're looking for a cybersecurity analyst. They're looking for someone who understands vulnerability assessment, who understands penetration testing, who has this on cloud services like AWS, Azure, and so on. You have to upskill and get yourself to that point to start the chance. Why? There are all kinds of people who are also interested in that thing. So what is going to make you stand out? What will make them call you for an interview? And what will make them do that job? It means that you must get yourself ready for that opportunity. Okay, so I'm going to pause again and see if there's any question that people are following. This is a live session rather. Um, okay. People say my sound, my voice is breaking. I may need to mute a monitor to enhance the sound. I don't have any monitor. Okay. Let me see. It's much better now. So is it when I share my screen that the sound as I don't have the sound is okay now. So if I share my screen, you have issues with the sound. Is my screen? Let me stop sharing and say it's better now. So at what point do you okay, okay. You know what might have happened. I tested this thing before the call today and everything seems fine. So I'm worried that Okay, I should turn off video. Okay, I should use headphone. Okay, let me see. It is when I share my screen. Interesting. My screen. Oh, so let me see. I don't think it's a headphone issue because it shouldn't. Ah, okay, I should share the screen again. Okay, let's see. Okay, so is it still the same thing? I have a second mic. That's interesting. Let me see. One sound. Can you guys hear me properly now? It's better. Okay. But let me see if I can quickly address the issue of I don't think I have a second mic anyway. I mean I tested this before. Okay, I think I understand what has happened. Is it better now? It should be better now. Yeah. I had yes, I know what happened. I had it open somewhere else. Yes, yes, I had it open. So apologies for that. So let me my screen is sharing, so let me just bring it up. If there's any issue, please let me know. Okay, I think I saw a question in the chats. Uh have I missed it? Okay, someone said, in your opinion, how many pages should a CV be? Um, let me see first that I'm sharing my screen. Okay, I'm sharing. So someone said, in your opinion, how many pages should a CV be? I would say that some people have said that your CV should not be more than 2 pages, your CV should not be more than 1 page. For me personally, I don't think it's the number of pages. I've seen a 4 page CV and the person got a job in cybersecurity. I've seen 3 pages and the person got a job. I mean, if you have good experience, what I would say is that tailor that experience properly for you to get a job in cybersecurity. Please tailor your experience properly. So don't cut your experience because your CV is too long. So that way you will stand a better chance in getting a job in cybersecurity. Make sure that you showcase your experience. Make sure you showcase your achievements on your CV. It is very important. Showcase your achievement on your CV. Don't cut your CV to 1 page because somebody has told you that if it's more than 1 page, you will not get a job in cybersecurity. I don't think it is true. So your CV can be any page, any number of pages, but most important thing is make sure that you are showcasing your experience. Make sure you are showcasing your achievements in your CV. Make sure your CV is clear and is readable. If you have previous experience and it's not in cybersecurity, do not remove from your CV. I've seen cases where people will say, I have experience, but it's not cybersecurity. Why are you removing it? The cybersecurity field welcomes other experience. But make sure that before you apply for the cybersecurity job, you have at least a current experience or you have something to show that you've done in cybersecurity. If you don't have that, the chances of you being called for an interview will be very slim. So I hope my voice is clearer now. Okay. My screen should show the slides in presentation. Yeah, it will show in presentation. It's because I'm using one screen instead of two. I'll definitely do that. Okay, so I'm going to now go back to presenter mode. I hope you can see my screen clearly now in presenter mode. Showcase your achievements by using effective keywords. Very important. Use bullet points with action words in your CV. For example, I have led a security awareness program, reducing phishing incidents by 80%. That is how to showcase your achievements on your CV. You led the security awareness program. Again, when you go for interviews, avoid or reduce the use of we, because you're talking about you. It's about you, and your CV is the starting point. Don't use we. Also, remember, it is about you. You are telling the potential recruiter or hiring manager that this is what I have done. I have led a security awareness program. Some of you do some of these things, but you don't know how to reflect it properly on your CV. Please ensure that you properly reflect some of the things you've done on your CV. Use data-driven statements. I investigated 200 plus security alerts weekly. And you can continue that, maybe to state the sources of what you did by doing that. Remember, you are showcasing your achievements. Keywords are important. When a recruiter sees this or a hiring manager sees this, they're impressed because it's in line with what they are looking for. Again, don't forget that you are doing this while tailoring your CV. So you are applying for a SOC analyst role. You can use something like this. I investigated 200 plus security alerts weekly. You are applying for a GRC role. You can say, I led a security awareness program, reducing phishing incidents. Even with a SOC analyst role, you can even still have that in your CV. Use strong descriptions. Make sure that in your CV, you are using really strong statements. And remember, you are tailoring to the role. So they are looking for a SOC analyst. And most of the things that are being asked for in the CV is around investigation, is around alerts, is around the use of tools, technology, and all of that. But your CV is saying something else entirely. Your CV is talking about standards and frameworks. Your CV is talking about even awareness, which is also good because it can tailor to SOC analysis. But your CV is talking about third-party assurance and is not talking about things that is required for a SOC analyst. Just know that you may likely not get called for an interview. When a job is posted, I also hire for opportunities. So I'm saying this thing as someone who knows what it is like. When a job is posted, you are not the only person who will submit a CV for that job. That's one thing you should know. The cybersecurity field is now becoming very competitive. So how do you stand out? The question you're asking is, how do I stand out? How do I make my CV stand out? How do I make sure that I'm showcasing everything that I've done properly in my CV? Okay? Format your CV for maximum clarity. Make sure that your font is consistent. You can't use Arial for the first part and then change to Calibri. And you just have inconsistent fonts all through the CV. It's a turn off because they want someone who can pay attention to details. And from your CV, you're already showing that you can't do that. You are putting bullet points in your CV. One is going one way, another one is going another way. Your headings, you have some headings that are bold, you have some that are not bold. You have different sizes. Some is 12, some is 10, some is 14. They are not going to call you for an interview, especially if the people looking at your CV also pay good attention to details. So please ensure consistency across your CV. Structure your CV properly. There's a proper format. Your CV should start after your name, location, and everything. Should start with your profile, your brief summary, or your brief bio, or your brief profile. That's what you should use to start your CV. Don't start with, some people, they will start with education. Where's your profile? I will see a CV and I will ask, so where's the profile? Start your CV with your summary or your profile that talks about you and your expertise, like I've said. Prioritize the relevant sections. There should be a section for education. There should be a section for your work experience. There should be a section for your projects, for your achievements. There should be a section for your core skills. Your CV has to be clear. It is very important for your CV to be clear, and make sure you are using clear headings in your CV. Okay? Polishing your CV for perfection, proofreading. Please proofread your CV properly. There's no need for typo. Always check. Thankfully, we have lots of resources now that can help you to check some of these things. Always check your CV properly. No need. You shouldn't be having typos in your CV. For me personally, it's a turn off. If you give me your CV and I'm seeing typos in it, I will never call you for the interview because it shows that you're not paying good attention to details. Check for accuracy when you are proofreading your CV. Be sure that this sentence, read it again. Does it make sense? If you are not sure, send to someone. What do you think about this? Does it make sense? I led security awareness in an organization and I was able to support them to reduce incidents. Does that statement make sense? Or is there anything I can edit? Seek feedback. Get feedback from people. So when you have your CV, please make sure you get feedback. Ask people, what do they think about your CV? People come out, reach out to me, check CV for me, and I tell them, I give them feedback. Sometimes because I struggle with typing, especially if I need to give a very long feedback, I just send a voice note to say this is what you should look out for. I think you need to apply for internships to gain more experience, because if you send this CV, if you send me your CV, first of all, I already know if you get called for interview or not just by looking at your CV. So if you send me a CV and there's no experience in cybersecurity, I wonder why they want to call you, except it's an internship opportunity. But if it's not internship, I wonder why they will call you for an interview. Test your CV with ATS compatibility. Check. And the best way to check is always tailor. I've gone back to this again. Tailor your CV to the job role, because there are keywords. They are looking for someone who understands standards and frameworks. ISO 27001, GDPR, NIST cybersecurity framework, PCI DSS, but none of it is in your CV. If it's an application that is being used, they'll filter your CV off. You are not qualified to be called for an interview. Again, I'm not saying you should lie in your CV. There are lots of resources that can help you to upskill, to get some of these things that you need, which is very important. This is a sample cybersecurity analyst CV. Your name, start your CV with your name. Put your location, like I said. Your location, please don't put your house address. Number 1, Isolo Road, Isolo. Why are you doing that? You don't need to put your house address in your CV. Your location is fine. Lagos, London, Ontario, Toronto, California. If you want to make it broad, some people do it. United Kingdom, United States, Nigeria, whatever it is, your location should be on your CV. Some people will say, if I put Lagos, they will not call me for remote opportunities. At the end of the day, they will still know if you are not in Nigeria, if you're in Nigeria or not, they will still know. So be very open. I always advise, please don't lie too much on your CV. At the end of the day, something will give you out. They will find out. Be as open as you can be. Your email address should be in your CV, because that's one of the ways that they will contact you. Put your phone number in your CV, and of course, your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn profile is optional. If you want, you can put it. If you don't want, you don't need to put it. But if you want, you can put it on your CV. Most times they check your LinkedIn to also see if what you have on your CV is reflecting with your experience. Have a professional summary, like I've said. This summary says result-driven cybersecurity analyst with X years of experience in, remember, I said keywords. And these keywords may change depending on what the job is looking for. Risk assessment, security operations. If there are specific things, if it's vulnerability assessment, for example, vulnerability management, you can decide to tweak these keywords a bit. Remember, I am not telling you to lie. I am only saying that if you don't have this experience, please look for ways to upskill to be able to reflect it properly in your CV. State the expertise that you have: vulnerability management, regulatory compliance, strong analytical skills with a proactive approach to securing IT environments and mitigating cyber threats. You see the combination of soft skills and technical skills in the professional summary is very important. Has to be properly stated in your CV. And then went on to say oath industry certifications. If you want, if you don't want, optional. At the end of the day, they'll still see it. Sometimes some people put their name and they add the certification after. For example, you can say Iwetolu Akirele CISM or Iwetolu Akirele CISSP. That also works. You can put that. But if you have too many certifications, maybe 30, I know some people on this call now, when it comes to certifications, they are bigger than me. Some of them have 35 certifications. So if you fall in that category, please don't list 35 certifications after your name in your CV. It's just going to look messy. Core skills and competencies. Like I said, your core skills must reflect in your CV. Security operations and incident response. This is just a sample, so I didn't do too much formatting on it. But if this is your CV, your font has to be the same thing. Your formatting has to be done properly. Security operations and incident response. threat hunting and vulnerability management, risk assessment and compliance, SIM and log analysis, soft skills. So the combination of technical and then soft skills. Combine your technical skills and soft skills in your CV. If you send me a CV and I don't see any soft skill, I will not call you for an interview, because on the job, for people who are in cybersecurity role, they will agree with me that technical is just one aspect. Your soft skill is also as important as those technical skills. So reflect your soft skills properly in your CV. It is very important. Stakeholder engagement. Cybersecurity requires you to engage with stakeholders, whether at the high level or at your own level or at a lower level. You have to engage with stakeholders. So as much as possible, always reflect that in your CV. Projects and achievements. Implemented SIM-based threat detection strategy, reducing response time by so percentage. If you have achievements based on projects you've worked on, please reflect on your CV. Don't be afraid. Why are you afraid to point out what you've achieved? That may just be what will stand you out from the hundreds of CVs out there. Successfully supported an ISO audit. In my CV, you will find that I have successfully supported over 60 organizations to ensure compliance with security standards. It's in my CV. So if you support ISO certification audit, and that's the role, they are looking for a GRC analyst, for example, or information security analyst, please reflect that in your CV, because that could be something that will stand you out from other people. And then you state your professional experience. One big mistake people make, especially for people who are in the UK, and I always tell them, you're applying for a cybersecurity role and you don't have adequate experience in your CV to compete for that job. It's a no-brainer. So you're applying for a cybersecurity role. Your most recent experience is business analyst. 2 years business analyst. Nothing in cybersecurity. Nobody is going to call you. And I always tell people, I'm not cursing you. If you think I'm cursing you, just go and try your business analyst CV and see if somebody will call you. Nobody is going to call you. They won't look at your CV twice. So you need to begin to do things that will stand you out. Join internships, do projects, live projects. Some people are in communities, WhatsApp groups. Some of them have not posted in the WhatsApp group in 1 year. But you don't know that there are people in those communities that you can partner with, that you can work with to get things done in cybersecurity. Some of you have friends, uncles, aunties that have companies. Go and do an ISO assessment for that company and use that to gain experience and put it in your CV. Tell your uncle, I want to do an assessment. I want to build policies for this your company. Information security policy, information classification policy, password policy. And then you put in your CV, developed information security policies for a small organization or for an organization, and supported them to improve their security processes. So you don't need to wait until Cyberlac is posting internship or any other organization is posting internship. Some of you can get this experience by thinking outside of the box and doing some things to build the experience. All right. And reflect these things properly in your CV. Cybersecurity analyst, GRC analyst, information security analyst. I conducted incident response activities. Some of you have access to platforms, Blue Team, Let's Defend. What are the things that you've done on those platforms? Reflect them. They are practical activities. So why are you not reflecting them in your CV properly? Some of you are using vulnerability assessment tools, learning on TryAcme, doing a lot of things, but you can't reflect it in your CV. They will not call you. Remember, this field is now competitive. You need your CV to stand out, to stand a chance to get a cybersecurity job. The same way you want to get that job, that's the same way other people want to get the job. What are you doing differently to stand a chance to get a cybersecurity job? So after this session, please go back again and check your CV. Is my CV properly structured? That's the first thing. Do I have a profile? Do I have my competencies, my skills spelled out in my CV, both technical and soft skills? Have I stated my achievements in my CV, or I'm afraid to do it? I'm shy. I don't want to put my achievements so that they will not think I'm bragging. You better brag. Brag if you want to brag. You've done it, so why not? Put your professional experience. If you have other skills that are not cybersecurity, I understand that a lot of people are coming from non-technical backgrounds, psychology, economics, accounting, criminology, sociology, and all that. you don't need to discard the experience. Why? If you remove those experience and you only have, say, 6 months in cybersecurity and nothing else, you are most likely going to be fit for only a graduate opportunity. But those other experience count for something. So build on that with your cybersecurity experience and have that in your CV. Okay. Put your certifications. Computer security still in view. You've not done it, but you have plans to do it. Again, don't lie. Some people will say, "Oh, Eretia said I should put CompTIA." You go and put CompTIA, and in the next 5 years, you will not attempt it. That's not what I'm saying. Put it in your CV, but with plans to do it. Certified ethical hacker. Again, look at the certifications required. I always say that also properly understand what the market is asking for. I'm not saying you should do all certifications. Again, certifications or not, you can get a job in cybersecurity. I have case studies, lots of case studies. I have people who don't have certifications and they got jobs in cybersecurity. I have people who had only CompTIA and got jobs. I have people who went further, did the ISO certification, for example, for people in GRC, and they got jobs. I have people who don't have any, but were just planning to take certifications and they got jobs. Put your education. Don't say because I have a BSc in in English, I will not put it there so that they will not think I've not done anything related to cybersecurity. Put your education there. And if you have other certificates, not certifications, maybe that can, especially for people who are coming from non-tech background, if there are other kind of courses that you've done that can boost your CV and give you a good chance, please also include in your CV. You don't need to line up and put, because you've done 50 courses, you now list all the 50. That's why your CV will enter 10 pages. You don't need to line them up like that, but just put the important ones that is related to the job you're applying for. Okay, spent a lot of time with the bad sound initially. I hope the sound is better now. Final tips, and I'm going to take questions. Tailor your CV for every role. The key thing you should take from this session is tailor. Your CV must be tailored. Why you are not getting calls is because you don't have a good CV. They're asking for A, your CV is showing B. I also hired, I will not call you. If I don't see what I want in that CV, I will not call you for an interview. So your CV must be tailored. Again, I'm not saying you should lie. I'm not saying that go and pack everything in the JD. Some people, I've seen it before. They take the JD and they just do copy and paste. I'm not saying you should lie. What I'm saying is that once you scan that JD and you can do 60% of what is there, begin to tailor your CV and see what you need to do to fit into the other aspects. Your CV must align. UK, for example, test it. If you've not tailored before now, go back to your CV and tailor and test your CV. You will see that you probably start getting more calls from recruiters following the adjustments you've done to your CV. So you have to tailor your CV. Showcase your achievements. Don't be afraid to showcase your achievements. Supported organizations, reduced incidents, implemented security controls, helped them to achieve compliance with standards and frameworks, and so on. Highlight it. Don't just stop at the responsibilities. Responsibilities doesn't really say much. Yes, it shows that you have the skills, the experience, but showcase achievements. It doesn't have to be too much, maybe two, three, but key achievements and quantify the impact. Keep your CV very clean and professional. No long story, no need for diagram. You don't need to start plotting charts, graph charts. No. Very simple, clean, professional. Proper formatting. Some people, it's just formatting that doesn't even make them get calls for interview and they don't know. Proper formatting of CV. If you use AI tools, ChatGPT and Co to work on your CV, please also be careful, because you see a case where there's a job description. You are not the only person that has gone to use ChatGPT. So you've refined and you just refined using ChatGPT. Other people have done the same thing. You guys will end up with the same JD that you are sending to the recruiter in your CV. So be very careful of those tools. Those tools are not designed to make us lazy. They're only designed to make us to help the work that we do. So when you use those kind of tools, use them responsibly and make sure that you're still doing the work by yourself. Always update your CV with new skills and certification regularly. At every point in time, you've taken a certification, please come back to your CV and update. You've changed jobs, update your CV. So people will change job and they'll say, I'm not looking for any job. They leave their CV. Sometimes it's even good to test your CV. Yes, you're not looking for a job, but just test your CV, because I always tell people that when you are desperate and you're looking for a job, that's when you find that this job is not going to come. So from time to time, test your CV, and please don't give up. That's the last thing I want to say. In your search for a cybersecurity job, please do not give up. I mean, there's still a demand. Like I said, if you are starting your career, your cybersecurity journey this year, it's not too late for you. There's a room for everyone in cybersecurity. Don't feel that this thing is too difficult. I want to give up. I can't do it. Talk to people. They are like minds. There are lots of WhatsApp groups, communities that I see out there. Join these communities and find a place for yourself there. And most of these communities are really impactful and very good. So I'm going to check now if there are questions. I'm going to quickly check now if there are questions. So I'll stop sharing first. Okay. Okay, so tailor your experience, yes. How do you tailor to a different sector, such as healthcare? How do you tailor to a different sector? So you're applying for healthcare role you're applying for a cybersecurity role, but maybe in healthcare. Again, understanding the key things, one of the key things I would say is for healthcare, they'll probably be particular about data privacy, right? So ensuring that you understand those data privacy concepts and being able to tailor your CV properly to fit into that, right? Looking at what the JD is saying, what are the key things that they require, and tailoring properly. For example, some healthcare organizations I've seen, they're very particular about people who have the skill sets in information governance, data protection, data privacy, and so on. So again, your JD, the JD of the organization, is what is going to help you to properly tailor effectively. Is it okay? No, I'm jumping that. What format is best to submit a CV? Some say Word and some say PDF, which is better with ATS. Um, Good question. I think with ATS, I think it's Word, but in submitting your CV, please submit a PDF version of your CV. Submit a PDF version of it. It's not in every case that a CV goes through the ATS. It's not in every case. Submit the PDF version of your CV when submitting. I hope that's answered that question. Is it advisable to have more than one phone number? No, don't have more than one phone number or email. Why you, in fact, I will maintain same phone number and email for all your applications. There's no need causing confusion, because sometimes you would have forgotten the email that you dropped. Again, I think one point I've missed is when I said don't use a one size fits all CV, but the point I've not added is that when submitting CVs, if especially for people who do lots of applications, when you're submitting CVs, create folders. For example, I'm applying for a cybersecurity role in Deloitte. Have a folder for Deloitte and put that CV there. I've applied for another cybersecurity role at PwC. Create another folder for PwC and put that CV there. That way, you are organizing. You're organizing yourself. And when the recruiter or hiring manager gets back to you, you understand what CV you submitted for what. So people don't even know. They just send CVs, and then the recruiter calls, and you ask, they'll say, what company? You now start thinking, company. When did I submit my CV here? I can't remember. You don't want to do that. Organize yourself when submitting CVs. Very important. So create those folders and continue to track, check. Sometimes you can follow up, especially if you know where you submitted your CV or you know someone or whatever it is. Try to do follow-ups. Okay. What about a portfolio? How relevant is it to your CV? Building a portfolio. I think I mentioned some things on that. Was it last week? I made a post on that. It is very important, especially for people who are struggling to gain work experience. Build a portfolio in cybersecurity. Different ways to build a portfolio. Do internships, work on projects. I gave an example of how you can work on a project. There are different other examples. A lot of time, people are just there waiting until I get an internship. If I don't get an internship, I can't progress in my cybersecurity journey. Talk to people. You never can tell. Even if some people are going to religious houses, start from there. Go and start telling them about cybersecurity. Go to those religious houses and have like a 30-minute session. Go to schools. Talk to those students, secondary school students, primary school. Basic cybersecurity, password. Don't share your password with anyone. Protect yourself. Have another level of authentication for your account. Basic cybersecurity. Don't tell your friend your daddy's password. Don't tell your friend your mommy's password. You start from there. And before you know it, you're already building something. You are crafting a niche for yourself. In cybersecurity, there are specialized roles for security awareness, specifically security awareness. That is what they do. Information security awareness or cyber security awareness, and they earn their money. So don't think that it's not something that you can't build a niche in and you can't earn. So continue to build your portfolio different ways. Some of you have mentors, you have people who are guiding you. What can you do for them? What are the projects that they can give you? When I say project, I'm not saying their clients' confidential information. They can just create a small task for you. Work on this, review this, create a fictitious policy for you. What are the gaps that you can see in this policy? You are building a portfolio. You have something to put in your CV. I reviewed an identity and access management policy, reviewed and implemented security controls, reviewed a security policy and implemented security controls. You have something to put in your CV. You are not telling lies. You did it. So some people wait to see for somebody to give them big work experience. It's not everybody that will get that opportunity, but you can do things right by having a good CV and building your portfolio and reflecting that in your CV. Okay. Let me see. I think there's some other questions. Okay. After carefully optimizing a CV, what exactly do we edit while tailoring to avoid burnout? I'm not sure I understand this question properly. What do we edit? Like I said, while tailoring, you are tailoring to job description. That's what you are doing. Tailor your CV properly to a job description. I'm not saying copy word for word. I'm not saying do copy and paste. I'm just saying tailor. Risk assessments. They want someone who understands risk assessment, who can take them through a risk assessment life cycle. They want someone who understands third-party assurance. But your CV has nothing on vendors. It has nothing on risk. You have to tailor properly. To avoid burnout, I think that is another conversation entirely, maybe for getting the job and things like that. To avoid burnout, you also have to look at the role that they are you're applying for. If it's a role that they want you to do everything, pen test, SOC, GRC, and so on and so forth, then you already know that most likely you may burn out in this role. So understanding the role is also very critical. If it's a specialized role, like maybe a GRC analyst, then you understand that when you get into the organization, you are going to focus as a GRC analyst. Okay. I think I've answered the formats. Um, what platform do you use for ATS checking? I think there are some platforms online, free online tools that you can use for ATS checking. Um, I can't remember. There's one I checked out recently, but just Google free online tools for ATS checking, and you see that there are lots of platforms that you can use. Okay. Should we include a date with projects done? You can add it as a current experience, especially if you don't have work experience. You don't have work experience on your CV, make those projects work experience and add it as your current experience. But continue. Again, remember, I said don't tell, I'm not encouraging you to tell lies. Make sure you're working on those projects and then put those projects on your CV as your current experience. Very important. Okay. Is it compulsory to use the same job role where you are working to apply for a job? Or I use the job role stated in the application? This is, yes, job scan is what I was looking for. Job scan, yes, exactly. Okay, so this question says, is it compulsory to use the same job role where you are working to apply for a job? Or I should use the job role stated in the application? That's a very good question. And in some cases, I always advise that it depends. So if your job role is similar to what is in the application, yes, use that job role to apply for the CV. Again, don't apply. For example, you are working as a SOC analyst. You're already learning. You are trying to become a SOC analyst. You now see a GRC analyst opportunity, and then you go and apply for it. The chances, how best do you want to? So again, create what you want in cybersecurity and follow it. So why do you not want to go and apply for a GRC analyst role? And you're already you are a SOC analyst. I'm not saying that you can't be that spontaneous, but again, remember that if you've not built those skills, you are stressing yourself out, because it means that for you to even, if they even call you for an interview, you need to go and start building skills for to fit into GRC analyst. If you are building your skills as a SOC analyst, you can still apply for a cybersecurity analyst job title. In some cases, some cybersecurity analyst jobs is actually SOC analyst they're looking for, but the title is as cybersecurity analyst. So what I've seen is that different companies, different job titles, some very close, but it's the JD that will tell you what that job is, what that job title is. So you have to read the JD. Cybersecurity analyst, but they put there understanding of some different SOC tools, ability to investigate something on incidents, something on vulnerabilities, and so on. So you are working in the SOC analyst part. You can see apply for that. Again, remember, you have to tailor, you have to tilt your CV properly. Okay, I don't know if I've missed. I think I tried my best to look at all the questions. Yes, showcase your achievements by using effective keywords. I've talked about that. Like I said, always showcase your achievements in your CV. Don't be afraid to put, you've achieved something. Why is it not in your CV? Some of you are good with bragging to people, but when it comes to the cybersecurity itself, you close your mouth. You have to showcase those achievements in your CV, because you are not the only person that is competing for that job. Recruiters, if I like I said, it takes them 6 to 8 seconds. They already know who they want to call for the interview just by looking at the CV. It's even worse if your CV is first landing on the desk of a recruiter that doesn't know cybersecurity. Person is just a cybersecurity recruiter, but the person does not have hands-on skills in cybersecurity. It's even worse. Because when they see all the CVs, what they'll just start looking for is which CV is well tailored, which CV has the relevant skills. They put CIS controls, they put NIST, they put ISO, but your CV is saying GDPR, PCI DSS. That's it. You are not getting called for an interview. And it's not a course, it's what I've seen, and it's what I tell people. You have to tailor properly. As someone that has knowledge of software development, can you add it in work experience section? Like I said, don't remove your previous experience. If this is work experience that you're talking about, you were previously a software developer, you worked in a company as a software developer for 2 years, and now you are tilting towards cybersecurity, that software development experience must be in your CV. You can use that to apply for application security jobs. Why not? DevSecOps. Why not? So why do you want to remove that key experience from your CV? That's the mistake some people make. They have 5 years experience. They're not going to be chasing entry level. Why? I ask people why. Why are you applying for an entry level? You didn't, if you didn't finish university last year, 2024 or 2023, why are you applying for an entry level opportunity? The 5 years experience that you gained it in another field, but it is relevant. It is relevant. I'm not saying you should use 1 year cybersecurity experience to apply for 10-year experience cybersecurity job. But what I'm saying is that your previous experience counts one way or the other. This is something I've tested. So when I say it, I'm talking from experience. I've tested this. I realized that you don't need to cancel all your previous experience. Lawyers, some lawyers, a lot of lawyers have moved to the cybersecurity field. Why are you removing that experience? That experience is gold mine. Some of you will use that experience to apply for data privacy, data protection. So there's no reason why you should remove it from your CV. Regulations. When I started my career in cybersecurity, I used to review lots of contracts. I'm not a lawyer, but as part of the job, I needed to review contracts. So if you come into this field as a lawyer, why are you not reflecting that you were previously a lawyer? It's a bonus for you. So again, your previous experience counts. Your previous experience is important. Please do not take it out from your CV. Reflect it in your work experience section. But the key thing to notice is that there must be a current cybersecurity experience, either by projects. I've given some tips on how to work on projects, either by projects, either by internship or any other work experience you're working on. But if you don't have a current cybersecurity experience in your CV and it's not an internship you're applying for, the chances of getting called will be very slim. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying the chances of getting called will be very slim. So go back again after this session, go back to your CV again. Go and revamp your CV. Check your profile. Some people put in their CV sex, female, state of origin. Remove those things. Reference, they'll put reference. Remove. Remove it. If it's in your CV currently, please remove. So if they need it, they will ask you, why is it in your CV? Reference, and you now put my phone number again. That's data privacy issue. In fact, if I see that, I will not even call you for an interview because you don't understand data privacy. Why do you have my name and my number on your CV? Remove. Sex, remove. State of origin, please remove. Some people put hobbies. I don't know why you put hobbies. When you get to the interview, if you want to talk about hobbies, please. Hobbies, I'm a Chelsea fan. God will help you. The person reviewing your CV is what? A Liverpool fan. Okay, let me say a Fulham fan, rivals. God will help you. Or a Manchester United fan. They will not call you for an interview. You don't need all those things. You don't need it. Remove it. When you get to the interview, if you want to talk about your hobbies, fine. If there's room for that, all well and good. But those things are not, leave space. That's why some people will say 2 pages is not enough because they've put lots of jargons. Leave space for the important things in the CV. Some things are not relevant, and please, as much as possible, take those things that are not relevant out of your CV. Will this live video be uploaded? With the way the video started, but yes, we should upload it so that people can. I mean, there's some valid points I've said, so we'll upload it for people to rewatch. Yes, your CV is the key for you to get a cybersecurity job. If your father does not have a cybersecurity company, or your brother does not have a cybersecurity company, or you don't own a cybersecurity company, your CV is the key for you to get a cybersecurity job. Your CV has to be good. It has to be uptight. I tell people, competition, go on LinkedIn now. Go and look for a cybersecurity job. You see 100 applicants, 200. When I started, it was just like a walk in the park. But right now, it's no longer a walk in the park. The competition is very high. So what is going to make you to stand out is your CV. Before they even want to hear what you have to say, before they call you for an interview, your CV has to be uptight. I see some CVs very scattered. Your CV, you must format properly. Take time. If you don't know what a good formatting looks like, go on the internet. Some of these things you can do by yourself. You can do it by yourself. Or you ask people who have done it, people who have gotten jobs in communities. Can I see a copy of your CV? Take time and format your CV properly. Okay? Ideal time gap in a CV, like if you stopped working to study, that's okay. If you stopped working to study, that's fine. You are still doing something. So that's very okay. That's very okay. Now, when you are done studying, time gap is very tricky, and I'm going to talk from UK experience. When you are done studying and there's a time gap in your CV, your chances are slim. I'm not saying they will not call you for an interview, but your chances are very slim. So make sure you are doing something, projects. And I'm emphasizing project because the gap to fill for work experience is projects. No work experience, fill with projects. There are different projects to do. It doesn't have to be internships alone. Look around you, scout around you. Do you have anyone around you who has a business? What can you do for them? Somebody once reached out to me and said that she volunteered and created policies. She told someone that I will create policies for your organization. And the person said, okay, come. And she created policies, created the information security policy, created this one, created that one. Those are projects, and you will count it in your CV as experience. So that when you apply for that job, you don't apply as someone who has no experience in their CV. They will not call you. Why? Some people, some CVs, they are looking for a job. They are looking for a cybersecurity analyst. And maybe they put there that we need people with 2 years experience. Guess what? People with 5 years experience are applying. So how do you stand a chance that you don't have any experience to show on your CV and you've applied for that job too. So you need to have things to reflect in your CV. It's very important. Okay. Somebody said, let me go and add all my 6 internships. Again, don't make your CV too long. Add what is key and important. Don't make the mistake of making your CV too long. 6 pages CV. They'll just look at it that this person is not serious. I mean, you're just starting your career and your CV is already 6 pages. So when you now do 10 years in your career, how many pages are you going to have? I'm over 10 years in my career. I'm not sure my CV is more than 3 pages, maybe 3, maximum 4. So you're starting your career, you should have at least 2 pages. And then when you grow your career, then you can start hitting 3 pages and so on. Okay. Do recruiter understand the transferable skills as something you can use for the role, even though you don't have experience in a particular field? Yes, I understand what you mean. Yes, they understand. They understand. But again, you must have, that's why I'm emphasizing there has to be an experience I'm bringing to the table, except it's a graduate role or an internship. If it's not an internship, if it's not a graduate role, you have to bring something to the table. And there are ways you can reflect these things in your CV. Stack up this experience and reflect it properly in your CV. It is very, very important. Vulnerability assessment, somebody who is familiar with the use of Nessus, free resources are out there. Why don't you understand how to use Nessus? There are free resources out there. Vulnerability management, somebody who can help support us to remediate and manage vulnerabilities. Internet is not just for you to go on WhatsApp and Twitter and be looking for bands. Your career is in your hands. This cybersecurity, it will just change your life. Your life will just move from 0 to 100. This same cybersecurity, your career is in your hands. Use the internet to your advantage. There are lots of resources out there. A lot of resources. For people who are following me on X, my pinned post is an example. Go and sleep on my pinned tweet. Different labs that you can join. Forage, theforage.com, internship. They have some internships, tasks that they will give you that you will do. When you put those tasks on your CV, put it in a way that you worked. There's a task on risk assessment, for example. Put that task to show that you supported an organization to identify and assess risk. You know someone who has a small business. I want to help you assess security risk. They have a website, they have an application and all that. I want to just support you to assess security risk. Go through that process and update your CV. Supported an organization to identify and assess security risk. You stand a good chance when your CV is done properly. Don Joe, yes, Don Joe is present. Yeah, great. Can I send my CV to you for review later? That's why I'm having this session, so you don't have to send your CV to me. We'll upload this session so that you can look at the sample CV I shared again. And you pick the key things from it. A lot of people send CVs to me. I'm trying to reduce that, and that's why I decided to do this session. Unfortunately, when I started, I feel like going over and starting all over again now that my voice is clear, but I'm also mindful of time. So unfortunately, when I started, there were some itches which I didn't realize on time. But the key thing that you can pick from this session is please tailor your CV properly. Reflect the right things that should be in your CV, not irrelevant things. Nobody is interested in your house address. In fact, you run a risk by putting your house address on your CV. Nobody is interested in the club you support. Yeah, you watch football, that's nice. Nobody is interested in your sex, all those things, or your state of origin, your local government. No, put the relevant things, your skills, your competencies, your certifications, your achievements, your work experience, your profile, your summary, a brief summary about you. What is it that a recruiter will look at in the first glance, which is your summary, that will make them want to go further and continue with your CV? So I'm emphasizing this so that you don't send the CV to me later. And when you see a JD you want to apply for, look at the job title, look at the job description, and tailor. The word is tailor. Tailor your CV properly to the job that you're applying for. Make sure that the keywords in the JD is also in your CV. And I'm not saying you should lie. before you'll be able to apply for that, I'm sure that in a way you have what it takes to apply for that opportunity. Okay, so what do you think? So we're going to end this session in another, say, 5 minutes. So if you have questions, please drop it. Um, what do you think about adding country when applying for international opportunities with the address? Yes, I talked about this. Adding countries. Again, eventually they will find out. UK, for example, most times, even if they want to give you sponsorship, I'm saying most times, I'm not saying it's not possible to get sponsorship from Nigeria, but most times, even if they want to give you sponsorship, they want you to start first on your whatever visa you are working on, or that you have, rather. Maybe it's a post study visa, and then they can now start processing your sponsorship most times. So eventually, they will find out if you lie and put United Kingdom, but you're in Nigeria. They will find out eventually. People have gotten sponsorship from Nigeria, so it's possible. People have gotten remote opportunities from Nigeria, so it's possible. So put your location. You can get it. You can get those opportunities. The chances are slim, but it's not impossible. If it's not possible, I'll come here to tell you it's not possible, but it is possible. I know people personally who got opportunities from Nigeria, and that was how they moved outside Nigeria. Again, if you are looking for those opportunities, a lot of people focus on UK and US. There are small countries within EU, Europe, that you can check. That these countries are not as big as UK, but they can give you an opportunity to work, to come to those countries and work. So go and do your research. I will not list the countries here on this session, but do your research. Leave the United Kingdom for now and look for other countries, smaller countries within the EU, and check the jobs that are available there. Some of them will put it there. Visa sponsorship is available, and you can check those opportunities out. Most people don't know because they have their eyes on UK, US. They feel that it has to be UK or US or Canada. If you're open-minded, you can get this kind of opportunities. Again, your CV has to be good because something has to stand you out. Remember, you're not the only person that will apply for that job. So how would they justify that they are bringing, who asked me that question? They are bringing Demilade from Nigeria, for example. How do they want to justify that? It means that Demilade's CV must be tight. So if your CV is uptight, you stand a chance. They'll call you for interview. And they'll be honest with you. They offer visa sponsorship. They'll process everything. In some cases, I've even seen that people have gotten relocation costs as part of what they processed for them. Some people, they give them accommodation to settle in and give them that soft landing. So it is possible. But again, your CV is the key to the kingdom. The key to getting a job is your CV. If your father does not have a cybersecurity business, your father does not have a company, or your brothers or your sisters, your CV is the key for you to get a cybersecurity job. Nothing more, nothing else. So please, after this session, go back and work on your CV. Go and check. Does your CV look okay? Are you reflecting your skills properly? Technical skills, they put it in the job description, what they are looking for. But your CV is not even showing any of those technical skills. They will not call you. I'm saying this confidently because I know. They won't call you. All the skills they are looking for, the job responsibilities that you come and do when they hire you, they've put it there. But your own experience has nothing to reflect any of those responsibilities. They won't call you for an interview. Why? Because other people with better CVs have also submitted their CV for the opportunity. So they will not, your CV is not the first point of call. They will go after the better CVs that is available to them. So again, this session is also to encourage you. Please take a close look at your CV. Go back and review it. Tailor to the jobs you're applying to. And when you apply, you can also, especially if the recruiter has checked with you or called you initially, you can also check back and ask for feedback if they are moving forward with you or not. I'll probably have another session for tips for interviews. I think I now understand what the problem was initially, so I will avoid that for the next session. Tips for interviews, I can have some interview scenarios, help people to answer interview questions, because again, your CV is the first step, but the most important step are the interviews. For you to get the job, you must understand how to answer interview questions. You must get it right with interviews. So that will be another session, but getting to the point of interviews, one, you must be knowledgeable. You must understand what you are going to answer at the interview. So it means that what you've put in your, that's why I said I will not encourage you to lie. You put something in your CV, you have lied, and then you go to the interview, you don't know how to defend it, or you don't know how to answer the question. It means there's a knowledge gap. You must be knowledgeable enough to attempt the interview. Okay, so I see that I've answered all the questions here. So again, unfortunately, it's so unfortunate that the first part of the class session rather, I was breaking. But what I'm going to do in the next 10 minutes before I end the session is that I'll just go back to some of the things I talked about while I was breaking. A strong CV is very important in cybersecurity. Always make sure that your CV is strong enough. That's the starting point. Like I said when I started, recruiters will just scan your CV. And when they scan, they check keywords. The keywords are not there, they move on. Tailor your CV. It is very important to have a tailored CV. Avoid unnecessary technical terms in your CV. Things that you don't need, don't put in your CV. Don't use a one size fits all CV. Again, like I said, have different CVs, very similar, but make sure that your CVs are well tailored. Always include achievement in your CV, not just responsibilities. What are the key things that you've achieved? In your career now, you've successfully supported 5 organizations to achieve compliance with the ISO 27001 certification. Why is it not in your CV? In your career, you supported organizations to remediate and mitigate vulnerabilities to the success rate of 90% reduction in risk. It should be in your CV. Those are your achievements outside of your day-to-day responsibility. Format your CV properly. Poor formatting will not help you in any way. It shows that you don't pay attention to details. Like I said when I started, cybersecurity jobs is growing, the demand is growing, and there are no lies when we say that the demand is growing. I see it every day. I get emails every day regarding cybersecurity opportunities. I check online and I see that these opportunities exist. There are specialized skill sets that are also in cybersecurity. Cloud security, SOC, GRC, pen test, and so on. Have a niche. What area of cybersecurity are you interested in? And when you have determined that area of cybersecurity, build your skills. You have to gain the relevant skills. You can't be doing GRC and you don't know standards, you don't know frameworks. You can't be doing SOC and you are never aware of some SIM tools. So because when you get to those interviews, those are some of the things they will ask you. So you have to build your skills. AI is here to stay now. So also having that touch of AI and understanding where it comes in cybersecurity is also important, can also help you to stand out. Different cybersecurity roles, understand the area you're interested in and build your skills in this area is very important. You want to be a GRC analyst, it's fine, but make sure you are building your skills properly to fit into a GRC analyst opportunity. Because again, remember, when opportunity comes, it should meet your preparation. Okay? I talked about the key sections of a CV, things that should be in your CV. Your profile is very important. I've talked about your full name, phone number, and all of that. Have a good profile or professional summary. Have proven expertise in cybersecurity with good details or good expertise in risk management, vulnerability assessment, and so on and so forth. Spell it out in your profile. That's the first thing they will look at. Highlight your skills, technical skills, soft skills in cybersecurity. Don't have a CV that does not show your soft skills because this job requires a combination of technical and soft skills. Document your experience, list your certifications. If you have a BSc in sociology, don't remove it from your CV. Some people will say, I have a BSc in sociology. I don't want them to know that that's what I did in my BSc. Why? Don't remove it in your CV. Highlight your relevant, your degree, and of course, what you can do to stand out is yes, you have a BSc in sociology, but what have you done in cybersecurity? What are the certifications or the other trainings, certificates that you have to plug that gap of your BSc? So that's what is going to stand you out. Somebody said, okay, I'll come to that question. I'll take that as the final question, but I'm just summarizing everything I've said because of the glitch that I had previously. Your professional summary must be uptight. Your professional summary must be uptight. That's the starting point. And when you have a good summary, when you get to the interview, tell me about yourself. You'll be able to confidently talk about yourself. This is my expertise. This is what I've done. My technical skills, my soft skills. If there's anything you want to add, if you want to say you're a Manchester United fan, good luck to you. But God will help you that your interviewer is a Manchester City fan, for example. So, but again, your professional summary must be uptight. Quantify. When you are stating your achievements, quantify, use values. Increased by 20%, reduced by whatever. Supported, investigated, number of alerts. Supported the organization to achieve compliance to whatever. Quantify. Helped the organization by supporting to bring repeat business of how many customers in cybersecurity. Quantify. Quantify. It is very important. Highlight your skills. I talked about that. Your technical skills, your soft skills, your projects, and all of that. Ensure you include your certifications, your research work, your projects. You've done research work in cybersecurity, contributed to a paper, add it there. Just add it in your CV, especially if you still have enough space in your CV. Make sure that those things are covered. Tailor. Key word from this session today is tailor. Make sure your CV is properly tailored. For you to tailor your CV, you must understand the job. What does the job entail? And tailor your CV properly. I'm not encouraging you to lie, but I'm saying tailor, not lie. Tailor your CV properly. Okay, so that's just a recap. I've talked about the other things, but that's a recap of some of the things that I was talking about when the glitch happened. So I hope that people will be able to pick that again. Okay, so final question. For cloud security and the likes, as long as you have hands-on experience, can you actively search for those jobs regardless of not having? Yes, I talked about this. Yes. You don't have certification, fine. Apply. Not having certification is not the end of the world. Apply. Yes, some people may stand a better chance because they have certification, but so I understand why some people don't have certifications. It could be financial reasons. Some certifications are too expensive. So that should not be a barrier for you not getting a job. So apply. Again, it's the way you present your CV that will even make you stand a chance. You don't have a certification. What are the other things that you've done? What are the other opportunities that you've taken advantage of that you can put in your CV to show relevance to that job? Put all of that together, structure your CV properly and apply. If you want to wait till when you have certification, if you're unable to afford it for maybe 1 or 2 years, does that mean that all the jobs will pass you by? So please apply. I'm not saying that don't take certification, but what I'm saying in essence is that it should not stop you from applying for jobs. It shouldn't stop you from applying for jobs. Final question. Can I include my final year project? If it's related to cybersecurity, you can. If it's not related, if it's criminology or sociology or physiology or whatever, please don't include. Relevant to cybersecurity, you can. Did something on machine learning and artificial intelligence, so include. Other projects related to that include identified security incidents publicly that affected organizations within America or something, include. Not related to cybersecurity, don't include, because this CV is a cybersecurity CV. So just leave it as your BSc and keep it moving. And other certificates that you have. But if it is a cybersecurity project, please include. Final question. I said final before, but I see one. If a job requires 3-year experience and you only have about 1 year experience, can you apply? If you can confidently, the word there is confidently. If you can confidently do what is in the job description, please apply. The worst is they will not call you, but please apply. What is in the job description? If you can confidently do it. And I'm saying this confidently because I know people who have gotten those opportunities. And when they got it, it didn't seem like they didn't have 3 years experience. And some of them, even their first month on the job, they're already getting awards. Best staff of the month. Apply. The key word there is confidently. If you can confidently do what is in that job, please apply. Don't be afraid to apply. So I'm going to end the session. 1 hour, 30 minutes well spent. Um, thank you everyone for joining. So sad that it didn't start on a good note like I planned, but I'm happy that the remaining part of the session has been of value. I intend to do this live stream once every month on different topics in how to help people to build a career in cybersecurity, how to help people to, I mean, lots of information out there, but the most important thing is to help people to get the right information that can improve them, improve their career, and get them to the point that they desire. Many years ago, I started my career in cybersecurity, trying to figure out things by myself, trying to navigate a lot of things. But getting to the point I've gotten to today, I've realized that a lot of people still need help. I can't mentor everyone. I can't provide the support to everyone. I can't review 1,000 CVs, but if I can do sessions like this, it will definitely help people, support people in their cybersecurity journey. So I'll definitely be doing more of this. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.